is happening, BC Spirits? BC Spirits today, Spirit a Day, number 275. Now, I have to admit, I've tasted a lot of BC Spirits in my day, but this is a first for me from a BC craft distillery, and I had to do a lot of research just to really wrap my head around what it is and the category, and I had to redo it. I've touched on it a few times with this category in my general everyday my experience with the spirit industry and so on and so forth. But this isn't the first style of this in BC. I know there is another distillery, what is the name of that? Dragon Mist also makes, what am I talking about? A Baiju. So Baiju is traditionally a Chinese sorghum-based distillate. This one is a little bit, there's not a lot of information about this one in particular. This is from Deep Earth, and it's called Deep Magic Baiju. So Deep Magic Baiju, love the packaging, very classic, a little bit of Canadiana in there as well. Really, really appreciate that. Product generic name is Baiju. Distillery's in Lindell Beach. Alcohol content is 48%, but then at the bottom it just says water and grains. So it doesn't say anything about yeast. Now, Baiju has a special style of yeast similar to like sake growing and stuff like that. It's, I'm gonna absolutely butcher this. It's called Qui, I don't know. It's a QU in Mandarin. Qui, something like that. If you know what it is, I'm sure there's a few people out there that are gonna tell me how to pronounce that properly. But it is kind of like a starter, sort of like a sourdough starter, a live starter growing on a heavy starch, and they slice it off and put it in there and gets this all sort of kicking off and starting the fermentation process. It doesn't mention it on the bottle. It doesn't actually mention any sort of fermentation process whatsoever. Neither does the website, but the website does say that it is combining traditional Chinese methodologies with modern technology in the way of production. So I've got some high hopes, and I do believe that this is probably being made as traditionally as possible. The story is fantastic. The owner grew up in China, up in the mountains, in the hillsides, and he was making it there. So when he came to Canada, he wanted to really do it. So it's in the Fraser Valley. So let's give it a try. Let's stop talking about it, because this is an interesting category as a whole, and it is very similar to sake, Baiju, shoju, sake, all those sort of ones from China and Japan. A bit of a rabbit hole. It comes down to what the polish is and all these sort of different sort of things. And it is a bit of a rabbit hole when it comes to learning about them as much as you do. What a fantastically interesting nose. First off, I'm going to say it. It's got a very interesting, almost blanco to tequila sort of nose. Almost like very green, herbal, vegetative sort of notes to it. Now I've got a lot of experience with Baiju, and most of the Baijus that actually come to Canada aren't made the traditional way. They really are just a sort of distilled vodka. But this is super unique. That higher alcohol definitely gives you some nice pepperiness on the palate. But this really lingers for a really long time. That green vegetative thing, I'd really like to know what grains are in this one, because sorghum is traditional, but you can use all sort of grains. And apparently they're growing this on the farm in the Fraser Valley, so I'm very interested in the grains that they're using. Again, not a ton of information on the website there, but beautiful texture, super vegetative. It does remind me a lot of like really like bright green vegetative highland blanco tequilas. It's very, very reminiscent of that. On the palate though, it's just super complex, vegetative and tasty. This is the Deep Earth, Deep Magic Baiju from Fraser Valley. I'm just loving the fact that I get to taste the freaking Baiju from BC, made in BC, using BC ingredients. That doesn't make sense. It is amazing and awesome. So, the Baiju from Deep Earth, Deep Magic Baiju. If you're into Baiju, give it a try. I'll chat to you guys soon. Bye.